Hey guys, this is Camford 15, joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf.
What's up,
And
guys?
we are back from the 1 week My Hero Academia anime break because you guys didn't know the anime went on break because the Olympics ended officially last week. So now that there's no more Olympics in Tokyo, Japan, well, back to business, right? So
Go on, say it. Go on, say it. Go on, say it.
Oh, brother. I know. What did I say? What did I say? I told you so. If you didn't watch the next episode preview, and let me just say this. I'm going to say this again next week too, just to rehash it into your memories. I told you so. If you were patient, if we were all patient, we would get My Villain Academia. And next week, we're finally starting My Villain Academia. I said it for the longest time. I made a whole review where the first half of that video was just an utter rant alone. I said
Warrior was a rant, and I was
yes.
applauding him for it.
Yes. I just said, all I said essentially was shut the hell up, sit down, and be quiet and watch My Hero Academia. You're going to get My Villain Academia. You just have to be patient, like good little boys and girls, and wait for it to come. And next week, it's coming. I'm going to say the same thing. My title description is going to say, My Villain Academia is here. So please, shut up. Stop complaining. If My Villain Academia comes out and the production is bad and everything's about it because they're rushing it, which I don't think it's going to be bad. Listen, then you have right to trash season 5. But till season 5's over, let's hold on to trash because nothing else is like done yet. We're finally getting My Villain Academia. And hey, you can look forward to it next week because now everybody can be like, well, now it's about time we get to it. When this is the reason why they built it up. They built it up so you can get to this level. You remember the end of season 4. Yes, the back half of the arc wasn't that. The back half of the season 4 story wasn't the best. I'm not gonna lie. Did Gentle versus Deku do anything for me? Other than really the philosophy in that fight. Nothing really turned out for me that I really particularly cared about. But when you get that Endeavor versus High-End Nomu, everybody's like, oh my gosh, that was epic. Season 4 is one of the best one seasons yet. Same thing's gonna happen here. I know it. Same thing's gonna happen here. My Villain Academia is gonna be really freaking good. And people who were hating and ripping on season 5, saying this sucks. This sucks. Why do they keep stalling My Hero or My Villain Academia for a movie and then all this other crap? Which, fun fact, the movie actually in Japan hit box office records. That's called the power of My Hero Academia. Thank you. Come again. I've already said the movie's gonna be good. It's gonna make money. And guess what? It's already smashing box office records for opening week in Japan. That's only in Japan. Now, I know our COVID situation is bad here, but I think people will risk COVID to go see My Hero Academia, the movie, in theaters. But you hear all these asinine statements of how people saying My Villain Academia is not coming and they're trashing it. And guess what? You finally get the next episode preview, and next week you're going to get the start to the arc. Shigiraki and the League of Villains versus Gigantomachia. That's only part 1. There's more if you're an anime only.
We should just say in your face to all the people at the same time. 3.
Oh yeah.
1. In your face. Just like SpongeBob and Patrick in that one movie.
Yeah.
In your face.
Yeah. And we'll say it next week too. Because you people who've been crying and complaining for this to get here, guess what? You got what you wanted. Now shut up, be quiet, and enjoy what you wanted. I don't care if you're like, but they're finishing it up, but they're going to be doing it in 6 episodes. I don't care. No, I don't care. You got what you wanted. Shut up, sit down, and watch. You got My Villain Academia. I'm not hating on My Villain Academia. I'm just talking about what I saw in the community of My Hero Academia, especially the anime community. You finally get what you wanted. Sit down, shut up, and watch and enjoy. Because now you're getting what you've been crying for the past 5 to 6 weeks. Back to back to back. Always wondering, when are they giving us My Villain Academia? When are they giving us My Villain Academia? Why are they sacrificing this movie for a pointless filler episode? Who cares? You got it. Shut up. Let's go with the episode review because this episode was fucking crazy.
Oh, yes.
We get the backstory a tiny bit of backstory of Aizawa and President Mike and their best friend from UA, Shirokumo, which I've been finding out that if you want to get more of the Shirokumo backstory and stuff like that, you have to go read the My Villain Academia the My Hero Academia Vigilantes manga. They have not confirmed they're making an animated series of that. I would not be shocked that at some point they make a My Vigilantes anime. I think would be a nice counterpart for My Hero. But then again, it depends on who works on it. If Studio Bones works on that, that's a little bit too much for Studio Bones to handle on one plate. So I guess that's what I heard. So maybe I have to start reading My Hero Academia Vigilantes because I heard it's actually a pretty good series. Essentially, if you don't know what Vigilantes is, My Hero Academia Vigilantes takes place before My Hero Academia. It's canon to the storyline. But so far, you can only read it in manga form. There's been a known announcement for any anime or anything. Again, like I said, would I be shocked if there was an anime announcement for it? No, I would very much watch it. But for the time being, you're gonna have to read the manga. So maybe that means I'm gonna have to renew my Viz subscription, which is only $1.99, mind you, so it's pretty cheap. And I have to read from chapter 1 all the way to the current chapter right now. But this episode was very emotional, very crazy, very revealing with the shock reveals, and then that ending. Yeah. So let's run down everything we get here in this episode before we get to the ending, because the ending was crazy. So this is My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 19. Now, this is coming off, obviously, everybody in Class 1A's little internship stuff. Now, we find out that Class 1A has 3 months left before they advance to the next grade. Funny enough, 3 months from now, there's supposed to be some gigantic war coming. Very coincidental. So it seems like they might not even be moving to the next grade because they're going to be in a war. So, yeah.
But back on lighter terms, can we take a moment to appreciate how Uraraka is holding the gift from Deku close to her at all times? Oh yes. And can I just say this? She moved probably the fastest she's ever moved in the entire series, just to make sure no other girl in the locker room saw the keychain she got from Deku. And let's be honest, every girl should know, have you seen All Might keychain, who that's from? There's only one man in their class that admires All Might, and that's Deku. I kid you not. She literally was like, and then she gets in, she's like, no, I'm not letting nobody see this. And then you just have lovely Mina, who's just been like us fans, the Izuo Chaco shipping fans. I'm like, I don't think I didn't see that. And obviously, Ochako's like, it's not what you think. Oh no, Ochako, I think we know what that means. Again, the kind of thing about that is she keeps it as a good luck charm. That's mostly what it is. Listen, it's endearing and it's sweet and it's adorable. And she's gonna need it.
Oh, of course. It goes to show you how much she really does love Deku. Because if you're really having his freaking gift, his little tiny keychain gift, in your hero costume, I think that says a lot about how you feel towards him.
What did she give Deku again? The whatever?
I forgot what she gave Deku.
Yeah, I forgot.
Again, like I said, I don't remember. I haven't read that manga chapter when they did the whole Christmas thing. I'm sure they didn't do a Secret Santa thing. I'm sure they acted. I think they did do the Secret Santa thing, but I think Deku and Chaco actually gave each other gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I would have to go back and read the manga chapter. So for me to find that out, but yeah, but I do know that All Might keychain is definitely from Deku. So she keeps that nice and tight in her hero costume because we all know she loves him. And that's kind of what I will say, unless barring the end of the season, that's probably going to be the last time. It's probably the last time we're going to see our hero characters till next season. Since the end of the season is going to be revolving around the villains. We have Bakugo sticking one of his freaking little sharp pieces into his head, like it's a, what is it? Like it's a boomerang, and he literally is like, oh, and then he starts bleeding out.
Mr. Winfrey.
Good morning. So I found that funny because as Deku's walking, he's like, it's like he's losing too much blood, everything.
Okay, that was kind of unnecessary for Bakugo to do that. Okay, that was just unnecessary.
He was just telling good old Kirishima that he mastered his Black Whip, although he says he can only bring his Black Whip out in like a quick second. But he's got better control of it, which is good to see. We have All Might creating, I guess, cotton candy, and then the students ask him like, where's Mr. Aizawa? And All Might's like, oh yeah, Mr. Aizawa, he had to be called away for something special he had to go attend to. And this is when we get to the very hard-hitting emotional stuff of this episode. And it's like I said, if you thought last week was emotional stuff with the Endeavor stuff, holy shit. My God, if this doesn't hit you, you're not sympathetic at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, not only Aizawa, but President Mike actually go to the Tartarus prison. Now, in this whole scene on the way there, President Mike does not look at all like himself. He actually looks like he's stressed out. He looks like he got revealed something that he wished he never had wanted to hear. So, essentially when they bring him into Tartarus, they're like, look, we got this League of Villain member who we're trying to find out information. Now remember, the events of My Villain Academia have already taken place at this current point in time. When we get to next week, if you looked at the next episode preview and looked at the subs, it says the My Villain Academia arc is going to take place 2 months before everything we've last seen the last couple of episodes. So remember, My Villain Academia is in the past. So, we see that Kurogiri has obviously been captured. And they're saying, the one dude who works alongside Gran Torino, he's like, listen, we're trying to get some information out to find out what the League of Villains are trying to do, what's their plan and everything. We need you to come in here to talk to him. But we found out a catch here. Now, we found out when observing Kurogiri, he's got multiple quirk factors, which is awfully similar to that of a Nomu. Then they go on to say, well, there's this one quirk factor that ends up being the main quirk of Kurogiri, which we know is his little quirk that he's able to transport all over the place and every stuff. And that's when he's like, oh yeah. But the interesting part about this is the fact that his quirk seems similar to you and President Mike's friend Aizawa. From UA, Shirokumo are its Oboro Shirokumo. Yes. So, Kurogiri.
I'm just like President Mike right now. Just
yes.
I'm just like Aizawa right now. I'm just.
Oh, in that one scene in the interrogation scene, yes. You know, so it is revealed here that Kurogiri, and we see it later in the episode, that Kurogiri is Shirokumo, and Kurogiri is essentially a Nomu. So that wasn't revealed enough. And the thing is, the fact that it hits you harder, the fact, you get a little flashback with Aizawa and President Mike and Shirokumo when they were all back at UA and stuff like that. And you have the whole thing where Shirokumo, he seems like an uppity type of energetic guy. And he was like, come on, Shoto. Which is funny enough, Shota Aizawa. And he's like, come on, Shota. When we get older and when we graduate, we're going to create a hero agency, just the three of us. And then only a few days later, after they were on a work study, he ends up dying, being collapsed, after being essentially collapsed after a building collapses on him. And he ends up dying. And again, I guess you're going to have to read Vigilantes to find out how his body was eventually taken by none other than All For One, because obviously he's behind this. And he got his body and he turned him into a Nomu and he transformed himself into Kuragiri. And stuff like that. And essentially, the thing is, the police are like, listen, we need to understand. So since he's essentially Shirokumo, you and President Mike have a connection. We need you to go in there, try to talk to him so we can find out any information. And at first they're like, look, if you guys can't do it, we'll just contact his parents and everything. And I'm like, oh, his parents. And Aizawa probably said the best thing is like, no, we don't need that. They don't need to hear what happened to their son. Which honestly probably makes sense. I think it's good enough that they know that their son has died. I don't think his parents should know. Oh yeah, he was transformed into this, I guess you could say this Nomu. I don't think his parents want to hear that. So this is when we get the very hard-hitting, emotional interrogation scene. What were your thoughts on this entire interrogation scene?
I wasn't breathing the whole time. I wasn't breathing. I wasn't breathing. I was just watching, listening, and I was like,
yeah. So, what are some of the details here in this discussion that mostly as I was trying to reach out to, I guess, his old friend?
Like about him or in the
past?
Mostly
about him.
That for one, he never really he's really what is the word? Like he's been looking after Shigiraki,
he's been taking care of Shigiraki. He's been the caretaker.
Yeah, in the past, Aizawa remembers how he used to be that way, what's that word?
A protector, essentially?
I guess. I thought there was another word for it, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to take the reins of this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Aizawa just flashes back to the one time when he kind of took care of this cat and he was kind of caring over just a nice animal. That's when you obviously have the scene where you just have freaking Aizawa we see a completely different character of Aizawa. And we see that he's shown emotion in the past, but he's legit showing emotion we have never seen him show. He is crying, bawling his eyes out, and he's trying to call out to his friend of saying I know you're in there. You need to fight it and everything. And we kind of get an understanding of why the whole thing of why Aizawa, he expels his students. Care to tell us what he does? Or the reasoning why he does that?
You can take it.
Okay. So essentially, the reason why he expels his students is he expels them to give them a little failure / check mark on their past so they can look back at it. So then when they get re-enrolled into the school, thanks to Aizawa, because Aizawa talks to Principal Nezu, he's like, look, I want to expel them, but then re-enroll them for the next term. And we see this one girl who's like, yeah, he was hard on us, and yes, he expelled us, but honestly, I'm thanking for that because he helped me be more aware of what I need to do to help me improve. And that's what Aizawa was doing. He's essentially he essentially, the reason why he expelled the students is so they can get that blemish on their record. So then when they get re-enrolled, they have more of a motivation to strive for the goals that they want to achieve. And they take it more seriously. Because obviously, as freshmen, going into high school, you're going to be like, yeah, this is somewhat similar to junior high. You know, nothing's different. So you don't really have that threat. But this teacher comes in like, oh, you're all failing. So let's get something straight. But then he re-enrolls you and you're just like, but I failed. And it takes these kids to be like, that means I have to take this seriously. So I like the fact that he does that. It goes to show that he actively cares about each and every student he has. He wants to see them all succeed. And even looking back at Class 1A, we remember at the start, he was willing to all expel them all too. But he didn't.
But then he was like, it was a joke.
Yeah, and still to this day, he hasn't expelled him. Mostly because he considers Class 1A to be really his best class he's ever had at teaching at UA. And from the standpoint, he has a connection with this class. And I really do like the fact that they bring that up. It goes to humanize Aizawa a lot more. Like, you really look at him, like, when he first comes across, you think like, oh, he's going to be a dick of a teacher, isn't he? But then the more you see Aizawa, he's actually a good dude. And you really see that he cares about all of these kids wanting to become pro heroes and stuff like that. Even if he has to forcibly expel them, he wants them to take this seriously, understand. Mostly probably because his past events, in his backstory. Now, what was the crazy reveal with Kurogiri that they show while his brainwaves was going haywire that they showed on his face?
I think you and I both know who that was.
Yeah. In the clouds of the purple smoke of Kurogiri, you just see the sliver of Shirokumo in there.
Mm-hmm. And Mike and Aizawa are like, fight it, you can do it. But oh my god, then they just lost him after.
Yeah, but
he said hospital.
Yes, which was in reference to the last scene in the episode. Yeah, the only thing that kind of confuses me in this whole Shirokumo stuff is, since he's already kind of deceased, if they, I guess, get the Kurogiri personality out of him, wouldn't he just be a dead body?
Yeah, I guess so, but...
Yeah, it's weird, unless the Kurogiri thing would bring his soul back to keep him alive. I don't know. But, yeah, his brainwaves fluctuate, he just zones out and then it's over, and then he's like, I'm the caretaker to Shigiraki. And yeah, but for that quick second, they almost reached him. They almost brought him back. And the ever-going trend for the series is, will Shirokumo ever return to being his old self? Will he be able to fight back against Kurogiri and be Shirokumo yet again? Even to this point in the manga, that has still not been answered yet.
You're still at it?
Till then, he's still good old Kurogiri. Yeah, so that's definitely going to be a storyline that's going to be very open for the time being. So yeah, now, essentially, because like my co-host said, he said hospital at the end. So essentially, they're like, thank you, you gave us enough. So that's when the police like, okay, hospital. That means we might need to check every known hospital in Japan and stuff like that. And this is when we cut over to obviously, I guess, the League of Villains headquarters. And obviously we see Hawks talking to somebody who requested him to do this, but he's like, no, I can't do it right now. I'm pretty busy right now. And then he's like, they always want me to come to do their work and stuff like that. And you have twice. And he's like, why is that? And he's like, because I'm the number 2 hero. What else do they want me to do? So he walks out and Hawks is like, everything's coming into place now. And we cut over. And the last scene of the episode, we see a person with some interesting goggles we saw from the start of the series. and a very awfully looking similar face and mustache we saw from the start of the series. And no, it's not Dr. Robotnik or Eggman, even though it definitely looks like him. We see a very interesting doctor we saw from the start of the series that told Deku when he was a kid, oh, he's quirkless. So everybody's thoughts and prediction of the fact that that doctor was probably evil, well, it's true. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ujiko is now revealed to be the evil mastermind doctor. And apparently the episode ends off with them doing a procedure, some sort of procedure on Shigiraki that looks painful to say the least.
Is that Shigiraki?
That's Shigiraki.
Or is that Shirokumo?
That's Shigiraki. They literally say in the scene that's Shigiraki. That's current day.
I was just hoping maybe it would explain why he's the way he is now.
Who?
Kurogane.
Oh no. That's Shigiraki. And Shigiraki's definitely being worked on, and Dr. Ujiko's like, yes, this is the master project that All For One has been telling me to do. Do it, Shigiraki. And
okay.
Yes, and Shigiraki looks just as disheveled as he did when we saw him a few weeks ago after this rubble and stuff like that of that event he was in, and he's definitely being tested on. The fact that he's got a whole pipe in his chest is scary enough. And again, I don't care what anybody says. Just looking at manga panels with what Shigiraki currently looks like, oh my goodness, it's something out of a horror movie. Shigiraki, and it's funny because you get the next episode preview. You see Shigiraki next episode preview, he looks nothing like he looks now. He looks like a legit horror villain, and it's actually scary. And if you thought Shigiraki was demented and crazy, you anime onlys will see the fall of his craziness where he goes batshit insane. I'm telling you, when I say he's gonna lose his marble, he's gonna lose his marbles. So that's how the episode ends off, and next week we're gonna get My Villain Academia, the start to it, and it seems like the League of Villains are gonna be fighting Gigantomachia. Yes, the one gigantic guy we saw at the end of season 4.
They're gonna fight him?
Or yes, they're going to fight him. They're going to fight him. Yes. Don't ask me how, but well, all we know is about Gigantomachia is the fact that he is essentially the little, I guess, dog to All For One. He takes orders from All For One personally himself. Right now, All For One's in prison. And technically, we know Shigiraki's building up, or they've been building Shigiraki up to be the next All For One. So, maybe that means Gigantomachia will start to take orders from him. We'll just have to find out next week. Last thing before we get out of here, what are your reveals of the fact that the doctor we saw at the start of the series is evil?
What if he lied about Deku being quirkless all along?
No, they specifically said that he was quirkless. Otherwise, his other quirk would have came out. But I guess that's an ongoing. Still, I think that's still even a theory now. The fact that what if Deku was still quirkless? Or people think, since he was working for All For One, what if Deku actually had a quirk that hadn't developed, and Dr. Ujiko took that?
That could also be.
That was another theory a lot of people throw around too. That Deku originally had a quirk, it hadn't developed yet, but Dr. Ujiko, when he did his procedure on Deku to see if he had a quirk, took the quirk and then just diagnosed him, after taking his quirk, as quirkless.
That's actually a good theory.
So, yes. Actually, did you always think that the doctor was evil or something, or did you think the doctor was just
I did not think much. I did not think much of the doctor at the time. I did not.
Yeah, how funny enough, full things circle around with the doctor. So The guy that we saw in the past scenes of My Hero Academia, who was always working on All for One before he went to prison, that was him. That was Dr. Ujiko. And let me just say this. When you see him, oh my God, he is your typical crazy doctor you see in shows where you think you're going to get the good doctor. Oh no. This is a doctor you don't want to mess with. And he does some pretty demented stuff. Also, too, we know this is the doctor that creates the Nomus as well. Because obviously, if you saw the next episode preview, you saw those canisters and everything. Those vials are, in the tanks. You saw in those tanks with all those bodies and stuff like that. Yeah, he makes the Nomus. Very scary stuff. And this is what I'm telling you. I warned you guys. My Hero Academia. It's gonna get darker from this point on. You're getting some dark stuff. They're not holding your hand saying, "Oh, this is happy-go-lucky stuff." No, we're gonna get dark on you, and you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna sit down, and you're gonna love it. So,
people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yes, I honestly, still to this day, even reading the manga, I'm still shocked that My Hero Academia took such a dark turn. And the crazy thing to believe is, Class 1A versus Class 1B was the last good, happy thing we get. After that, the story literally takes a tone shift. And anyways, that's props to Horikoshi, the author, of just taking a show you get lovely enjoyment and you get a little bit of darkness here and there. But then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you this last happy-go-lucky arc and everything's gonna shift where it's gonna be just dark and gritty. So I like the tone shift. It makes My Hero Academia come across more of a serious like type of thing. Because at the end of the day, this is heroes. This is what you sign up to do. You have to deal with this type of stuff. It's the same thing. Like, on the outside, we think police people are just doing everything to protect the police, protect the law and everything. But at the end of the day, deep down, police people, the people in the police force, they deal with some pretty dark shit. They deal with like some stuff that you probably will not expect that they could deal with. Like, trust and believe. There's always the good parts of society, but there's also the dark parts of society.
Yes.
If there was an ever truer statement there, I think that's what I just mentioned. But this was a very good episode, one of the best episodes of this season. And next week we'll be back to talk what everybody's been crying for in their panties. My Villain Academia, the start to it, as it ends off the season. Other than that, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of My Villain Academia. My Hero Academia. I'll be sorry. I'll have to start calling that next week My Villain Academia. Not only hit that subscribe button to only my channel, but my co-host channel, The Red Wolf. And when you do hit that subscribe,
gonna start recording tonight, guys. So please don't miss it. Well, if you're interested, no pressure, I guess. Don't be like my partner over here if you like.
And if you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell icons on both our channels so you're up to date with whatever we both upload to our channels. So it goes straight to your inbox. Other than that, we're gonna get out of here, guys.
Oh my God, I can't believe you made it this far into the video and you haven't pressed the like button. Why is it gray when it can be blue? Oh, haha. I'm done.
Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day and I'm checking out this video. I know I'm not having a good day because I'm staying home alone because my car is not turning on. Other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day and I'm checking out this video. Till then, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Peace.